Bentley say the new Flying Spur hybrid is just as exciting and just as fast as the V8. Well, we have come back to Bristol 12 months on from our V8 review to find out whether that is the case.
In one rather crucial way, the hybrid is actually better than the V8. Probably shouldn't say that, but it is better. And that's primarily because when this car is running on electric, it is silent. Like, I don't think I've been in a car that is as quiet as this when it's running on electric. When you start it up, you can't even hear the electricity, like you can't hear it. You're in a Bentley, you're expecting it to burst into life with a growl and some noise, but it just doesn't. It just starts up and then you pull away in absolute silence. The refinement of this car is exceptional. It is so quiet on the road, but you'd expect that. It's a Bentley. It doesn't matter what drivetrain this thing has. It's always going to be refined, comfortable, and amazing on long distances. And the Flying Spur hybrid ticks all of those boxes. But what about the drivetrain? So this actually has a slightly different drivetrain to the Bentayga hybrid. I've driven the Bentayga hybrid quite a few times and it's a great car. But what Bentley have done with this, they've completely changed the engine, which actually on paper, it doesn't look like they have, because this uses a V6 and a bank of batteries, pretty much exactly the same as the Bentayga. But this is now a 2.9 litre twin turbocharged V6. And it actually makes, all in all, around 100 brake horsepower more than the Bentayga hybrid. We've got around 540 brake horsepower and 750 newton meters of torque, which means the Flying Spur hybrid can go from 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 4.1 seconds, which is pretty damn impressive, to be honest. Through towns and cities, it's exactly as you'd expect. We've got rear wheel steer, which make this very long, very wide car actually quite easy to maneuver through towns. We're going through a small little village now and it doesn't feel as big as it looks. Make no mistake, it is a big car, but that rear wheel steer really makes a big difference. The ride quality as well is fantastic. This is riding on the bigger alloy wheels too, so you might expect it to be a little bit crashy, but no. It does such a fantastic job of ironing out all of the terrible potholes that we have here in the UK. And again, that rear wheel steer, especially going around a corner like that, makes the car feel quite manoeuvrable and dainty. The interior of the Flying Spur hybrid is pretty much exactly the same as the regular Flying Spur. However, I do need to mention a slight change in the Bentley lineup. So, the changes are: the hybrid is now available as an S, an Azure, and a Mulliner. So, Mulliner sits at the very top, which is this, which we'll go on to a little bit more detail in a second. Then you've got Azure, which is your more relaxed, comfortable, classy spec. Then you've got S, which is billed as the more sporty specification. But what about this then, Mulliner? This is the very top end of the Flying Spur lineup. So we've got a different grille on the front. You've got this incredible stitching in here. You've got a different colourway. You've got this accent running around here. And actually in this car, it's gold. But the Mulliner adds just an extra element to an already very luxurious car. So that's enough of the slower driving. Let's get out of these little towns and little villages and get out onto some open roads and see what this car is like when you get your toe down. I mean, it still picks up rather well, and actually it's got a bit of a rasp to it, that engine. I was kind of wondering what it'd feel like, because the V8 sounds amazing. V8 in this car is fantastic, but I don't feel like you're really that shortchanged by having the V6 hybrid. Gearbox is still nice and responsive, and the electric motor, it just feels like it fills in the gaps where the petrol engine might not be working to its optimum level. For example, when the turbos are spooling up, or where there's a little bit of a drop in torque. The electric motor fills in those gaps, which mean that the power delivery is very, very linear, and it just keeps going right the way through the rev range, right from the very bottom right to the top. The power is always there, and that's the beauty of having the electric assistance as well. And even though this is quite a large car, on the twisty stuff it handles itself really, really well. It does disguise its weight quite well. When you really start to push on, there is a little bit of weight transfer, but that's to be expected because it's a big car. And something worth noting as well, we haven't got the 48-volt anti-roll system on this car that you do on the V8 and so on. But the normal system still does a very, very good job when you get to the twisty stuff. But all in all then, how would I sum up this car? Has becoming a hybrid taken away from any of the appeal of the Flying Spur, or has it enhanced it? Well, I would argue that it's enhanced it because, for one, if you're a company car buyer, this will be much cheaper, less expensive, shall we say. But all in all, I think this is a great car. And if you're in the market for a luxury hybrid that you can use every single day and look fantastic while driving, this quite possibly is a fabulous choice for you. And if you want any more information on the Flying Spur Hybrid, please use the link in the description of this video to contact the guys at Bentley Bristol. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel for plenty more content to come, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon.